Today I'm going to share with you why I call this channel Evolutionary Tom, and I'm also going to show you something really cool. You know, I don't do unboxing videos, but I'm going to take it out of the box while we're here, just sort of a way to introduce it to the channel. I'm going to add some newer content to the channel, and the reason I call the channel Evolutionary Tom is because my interests change over time. Now on YouTube, they say you have to pick a niche, you have to niche down, you have to stay on one subject if you want to be successful on YouTube. Well, the truth is, like 2 or 3% of your subscribers actually watch your videos. Your videos are generally watched by people that come from the search function or suggested by YouTube to people as they're watching other YouTube videos, just like when I watch YouTube videos. But I've always, even from the very start, I knew that that was what all the YouTube pros preach in terms of being successful on YouTube. You have to niche down, pick a subject, stick with it. But I didn't want to do that because I do this channel for my own fun, as an interest. And then along the way, I found, a number of people that have found some of the content interesting. They follow along, and that's all good. The biggest reason I started this channel was to stay up on technology. And I've always felt, I'm only 58 years old now. I started this channel about, I'm going to say 6-7 years ago. And I did it at that time. You can't say at the age of, 51 or 58 that you're too old to learn technology. So I've stayed with YouTube. I've created websites. I run my own little website. Do a lot of the editing. I do all the editing actually, but edit a lot of what I make, and that keeps me up on technology. Now, that was an interest of mine, and that was one reason for starting Evolutionary Tom. Another one was e-bikes. I got into e-bikes and got in fairly early, kind of. Had that interest and developed that interest along the way, and then relocated down to Florida on a little island, and the island life is kind of cool in terms of it's beautiful here, and there's a lot of things that I'm interested in, so I'm guessing there's things that other people are interested in, and that's proven to be as well. But in retirement, they say you should retire to something, not from something. And I've always been a very curious person about things, especially like technology or just new things. And so I've always got something on my mind, a couple things generally that I want to pursue. And back when I was working, I didn't have time to pursue half the things I had an interest in, and the other half, the things that I could pursue, we're on a limited basis. Just that's life and work and all that good stuff. But now I can really go off in just about any direction I want. And this is something that my wife, Maria, mentioned to me years ago. I don't know how many years ago. I don't know why we had the conversation, but she said, yeah, that's really interesting. I think it's because she's got an engineering background. She's an engineer. And so it sort of crosses into that space just a little bit, but enough to where I can expand my horizon a little bit. It'll challenge me. It's definitely going to challenge me, and I'll learn along the way and then have fun. I'm not going full geek or full nerd. I'm already a boomer, so I don't want to combine those two things. But let me grab this. It's kind of heavy. I think that's about 50 pounds right there. So let's see if we can adjust the camera there. Let me grab a knife. By the way, I'm always showing you cool stuff. This thing is really cool. It's called a screw pop knife. It's called Uncle Something's knife on Amazon, but it just takes regular cutter blade, knife cutter blade, carpet cutter blade, whatever you want to call it, slides into this thing, and then this little latch folds. But the key to this is, on the back here, there's a magnet, and so when you slide the blade in, the magnet holds it and won't go anywhere. So you can just adjust this little cutter, and makes an excellent box cutter. So much so, when I find little things like this, I buy them for my boys. I've got 2 sons, and I buy them and send them off to them as well, give them to them for Christmas presents. Whenever I find some little gadget like this, it's inexpensive, but it's extremely useful. So, anyway, let me slice this thing open with once upon a time, after the military, while I was going to college, I worked at a car assembly plant, and one of my jobs there was stocking the line with parts, and most of the parts were plastic, you know, fascias, things like this, and you get really good with a box cutter when you're opening those boxes and you're stocking the line, because obviously you don't want to slice into body molding for a car with a box knife. So yeah, I'm going to probably take some of this stuff out, and we're just going to throw it to the side for now, because they've got a unique way of packaging this, and you just pull it up with the plastic. So I'm going to set it back down. Roll my table back here just a little bit. There we go. Can you guess what that is? This is a 3D printer. So I did my homework, as I usually do on things like this, pretty extensively, and wanted to find one that, number one, would be easy to use and sort of have the latest, greatest technology, because I like to, if I can, as much as possible, I like to future-proof myself when I buy electronics. So I don't always buy the biggest and the best, but I try to get up to the level to where, like I say, I future-proof myself as much as possible. So without breaking this, and this is, I watched 12 million videos on this. This is, I'm going to say about the size that I expected. Now it does have a quick start guide, which is probably smart, and I'll probably look at that. Yeah, so first thing you got to do is get all this plastic and the tape off. Got a lot of protection here. It's packed extremely well. So this is a Bamboo Lab 3D printer, and this is the X1 Carbon. And a couple of reasons I chose this was because I've got the AMS unit with it, which is automatic material supply, I think is what it stands for, but it is a unit that sits on top and will hold up to 4 colors, so you can do multicolor prints with this. And also the bed, which is what you print on, the different 3D printers have different size beds, and you want to make sure that you get one that is large enough so that it can print the size objects you want, which makes sense. So inside here is the AMS. They actually pack it inside the unit, and I knew that again from the videos I'd watched. But I figure I would get this all out of here. They're using every ounce of space with this thing. And I think, if I remember right, there's 2 screws down here. So there's a couple screws that I need to access in the front here. because the AMS unit that sits on top is sort of bolted to the bottom. And there they are right there. I can see them right here and right there. Don't know if you can see that a little bit. And I'm guessing this is the tray of accessories. This really is the fun part. I'm going to find an Allen key somewhere around here. So the print heads, materials, here we go. Bottom right here. So I'm going to call that the bigger one, maybe a 2.0. There we go. So again, it's sitting on the bed of the printer. Now this printer is one where the bed does not move to the print head. The bed actually just goes up and down. It's the printer head that moves, goes all over the place wherever it has to based on the print. And then as it fills up the layers, the print head just keeps going down as the head's moving around, doing its thing. So, and again, I have zero experience with this. I've just watched a lot of videos, and here's the AMS itself. Really cool. And what happens is you put the plastic, take the plastic off of here. I don't want to slice that. There we go. Here's an opening. I don't want to slice this because this is glass. I would really be upset if I had a big knife scar going across this glass shield. And here we are. That's all just packaging. Just like this. And then you can kind of see inside there. The print head is up here. And the bed is down there. And this AMS unit, which is actually pretty light, but the spools of filament go in there, will sit on there just like that. So this ought to be pretty satisfying. Look at this. Yeah, I like that. Okay. I am geeking out here just a little bit, but this is pretty interesting stuff. So you can imagine that 3D printer, if you're familiar with them at all, there's a lot of free files out there that you can print, different things, and a lot of it very useful stuff. I told Maria, I said, I'll try not to fill the house with completely useless stuff. I see that camera shift around just a little bit, and I'm going to adjust this. I'm going to take, there we go. Let me adjust the camera just a little bit. We'll just hold that in position. This is probably gonna be a longer video, so skip ahead if you like. But there's that unit, right there. This holds all the spools. So fortunately for me, this weekend is supposed to be a rainy weekend. Now, again, you can print all kinds of free files that you can get online. There's different sites that have plenty of that stuff. And then you can design your own. Now, to design your own, you really have to, move over here. To design your own, you've got to learn a little bit of the CAD software, and there's different levels of CAD. There's, you know, there's Tinkercad, which is kind of a lower level CAD, let's say, or something that, you know, eventually you might run out of capacity on. So I've got to choose, and I've been watching videos on which CAD program to learn so that I don't have to learn 2 programs because I run out of capacity in one. And I don't want to design spaceships either, so there's some nice desiccant in there. Yeah, I don't want to design spaceships either. And I want to make sure I learn something enough to where I don't run out of, you know, things that that I want to learn. So try to stick with one platform and call it good. I do not know how to get that part out, but I see some more screw holes. So let me set this to the side. And it came with 2 different size Allen screws. So let me stick those down in there and see what happens. And I can pretty well tell already. Yep. Okay, so here's a screw. All right. Hopefully I got that one. There's another one here. It's a good thing. Look how long these Allen wrenches are. The one in my hand's even longer. Okay. See, I think I got that one. Could be 2 more here. Bear with me. There we go. So the bed is like 250 some millimeters by 250 some millimeters, and you know, if you have parts that are too big, then usually the files come in sections, so print them off in pieces. But the versatility and the capability of this thing, it really makes things limited by only your imagination. And I'm not joking when I say that. There we go. I think this is just looks like a packaging part, but I better save that just in case. I'm not sure, but this will let me pull out the rest of the styrofoam, the packing. Aha. So here's the plate that comes with it, and actually I ordered a textured plate because I thought this came with a smooth plate, but it came with a textured plate. So evidently I've got 2 textured plates now, and actually the accessories for this thing is not very expensive at all. So I'm not so much worried about that. Okay, there's another one back in here, and this one is going to be a little bit more difficult to access, but I can get it. And I think some of the plates that, or I should say some of the carriers that allow this to go up and down the printing plate are secured in here just for packaging purposes. Like I said, they really package this very, very well. And I got to give this thing a name because all the videos I watched, everybody names their thing, so I might as well stick with the program. And maybe I'll let Maria come up with that name. But everywhere there's a little arrow, I've taken these screws out of because I think that's where the packaging indicates that you need to remove those. The technology is in here. Bamboo has its own slicer, which is the program that this thing runs off of. It also has a touch screen that goes on the front of this, and kind of at a point here where I don't know. That's to mount the screen itself. Some of this I did not watch in the videos, so let's see, but pretty basic. And that's another aspect of this Bamboo X1 Carbon, and that is it's supposed to be very, very user-friendly. See, it even shows here, connect, press terminal down, insert the cable. There we go. That's done. A little satisfying peel right there. So, let me kind of wrap this up. I'm not changing the format of the channel. I'm not doing anything drastic. I'm not going full nerd, but I'm going to incorporate some things. And what I'll probably do is I will make a playlist that's just for 3D, probably called All Things 3D, like I call my other playlists, and we'll see what kind of fun we can have. I'll try to make not a household of useless things with it, but there's some things that I've already been making a list. And one of the things is this menu's got a number of items on it already. So, literally I could plug it in, connect it all wirelessly with my laptop, and then just hit print, and it'll just run. So you can send all the jobs to this thing wirelessly. It's got a camera inside of it as well, so that it'll show the print jobs, you know, in time-lapse video. So I can share some of those as well, see what I can come up with. But I'm going to get this thing ramped up and running. I appreciate you watching. Appreciate you watching my channel. Anyway, again, I know that I don't do the right things on YouTube to grow it too much, but I appreciate you hanging out with me on the videos that may be of some interest in you or to you. And if you want to follow my 3D print list, we can learn some of this stuff together, because again, I know nothing about this. I've just done my homework, but I'll learn it, become proficient at it, because that's my nature, is just to be curious, and I like to figure things out, especially technology. So that's it. I hope you found this video interesting and informative, just like I always say, and I'll see you in the next one.